That was awesome. All right, this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone, one and all. This is the great Kirk Fletcher. Such a great. I'm really excited you're here because I think one of the things most people, if I, as a guitar instructor, one of the things that I struggle with the most and that I feel that people struggle with the most is you learn the scales, you learn the licks, but like making them believable.
Yeah.
The feel, right? I think that's one of the things that's the hardest thing to convey and to work on. And obviously you've got that down. And also, one of the things I also really appreciate about your playing is you add really cool kind of color to the lines in a way it's like, oh, it sounds like it fit. It doesn't sound like you're doing it just to throw in a cool, weird lick. It like fits, you know what I mean? And it's not an intimidating kind of a sound. So that's one of the things I also would love to see if you can kind of break down as like, when you go to those other options that may sound outside in a typical, blues progression, what are some places people can start? But first of all, can you break down what that progression was? And you were playing some really cool rhythm stuff to it in the beginning. Cool. So maybe show them what the progression is, and then also how a couple different ways that you can play it, and then we'll get into like some cool licks and stuff.
Sure. Well, the first chord is a B flat minor chord. And then the next chord is an E flat minor 7. And then it goes to like a sharp 5, which is goes to F sharp major 7.
Okay.
Right?
You don't even have to be right because I wouldn't know anyways. It looks
F sharp major 7.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm terrible with
me
all
too.
this. And then F sharp 9.
Yeah. The Hendrix chord or whatever? Is that okay. People know that chord on this channel.
Yeah.
Just say
the
Hendrix and
chord.
like, yes!
Yes, all about Hendrix.
Right?
I love Hendrix.
Oh, he's the best, man. Favorite blues player ever.
So so it's just basically like the thrill is gone.
Okay.
And I always, with my rhythm playing, add like movement. I always do something to just kind of keep it going. Yeah. Because I've had to play a lot of rhythm.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah.
I always try and make it not boring for myself. So movement usually is one of the things that I do. So thinking like more of an R&B funky guitar players. Then I'll play some
What's the little roll? Yeah. Show them, like, break that down really slow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. So you do like a... Yeah, that's cool. Oh, wait, hold on.
Stops.
Okay, break that down.
Double stops. I got that from this great guitar player named Chris Kane, and he would sometimes just play rhythm on, like doing double stops.
Yeah.
And that's just like a passing, to the 4 chord.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And I always do that because, it's like
scratch
the R&B kind of.
Yeah.
And then I put this note in there too on the C sharp.
Yeah, so you're jumping around even on the whole chord. Like a lot of times you're hitting the low and then jump to high and like, okay, so it's real back and forth.
And that's, like what Curtis Mayfield or something like that, little curly cues, maybe David T. Walker.
David T. Walker, I haven't heard that one. What's up with that?
Oh, he was a legendary studio musician that played with everybody. Marvin Gaye.
Oh, slouch.
Yeah, I know, right?
Enough said right there.
I know, he played with everybody.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I'll just check some of that out. What are some other people that you played with? Like, give them some examples.
Oh, man, he played with everybody. Marvin Gaye, he played on this Joe Sample record that I love. He played with
Joe who? What'd you say? I'm sorry, you said Marvin Gaye, and then what'd you say after
Joe
that?
Sample.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then he also played a long time with Lou Rawls. He played with the Crusaders. Oh, man.
It all.
Yeah.
Okay, so
David
the cat.
T. Walker.
Yeah. All right.
LA. He done a lot of work for Motown.
Yeah.
And that's when Motown moved to Los Angeles.
Okay.
In like the 70s.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was there playing a lot. He done a lot in LA.
Yeah.
Just that real cool rhythm guitar.
One of those cats, man. God,
yeah.
There's so many good ones.
I know.
They're so
ridiculous.
Good. You know, we were talking about this yesterday in the video that we shot with Tom and those guys.
Yeah.
But like the fact that they did it in like 1 to 3 takes too.
Yeah.
Like, really? That's just what flew out of you? Yeah. Like, whatever.
And they didn't have, like pedal boards and all that stuff. They were kind of doing it all with just plugging into a Princeton and like a guitar.
No Pro Tools or anything. So it's like you made them sick. Oh, guess what? Everybody's got to do it over again. Yeah, exactly. No pressure.
Totally.
1, 2, 3, go.
It's scary.
Sorry, I cut you off. All right.
Oh,
so
no.
What do we got?
But that's basically it. And then it's just after you got the chords,
Okay. What do you do on that? Do you pick that out or like if you're playing it?
And sometimes I'll play.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The little Stevie Ray Vaughan Riviera Paradise.
Another slouch on the rhythm. God bless that guy. He doesn't get enough credit for. Yeah, he doesn't get enough credit for his rhythm playing. It's just ridiculous.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
Okay. See, so you have fun playing rhythm.
Oh yeah,
that's the big difference, man.
That's one of my shticks.
So you it looks like you kind of walk in, half step down into chords a lot too. Yeah,
that's the old Robin Ford thing.
You can always
you can like trace all of the Kirky things.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean that's what, but you still kind of like you sound like yourself though. I think that's the hardest part is. The Stevie Ray thing came out. It's like everybody loved it, but then everybody sounded like Stevie Ray.
I did.
Yeah, and so it's hard to get your own, learn from the greats, but get your own sound.
Oh, yeah.
Because like right now, I'm listening to you. I'm not hearing.
Well, I think that takes time, and you really have to go after what you want to sound like. It's almost like seeing yourself 20 years from now.
Okay, so before we get into the leads, though, and this is what I'm about to say is like, if you took like 3 or 4 players that were like your heroes and you combined them into what your style is. So people, when they, they're going to see this and be like, oh man, I love his style. Like, where did he learn from? Right.
Yeah.
So if you were to take, let's say 3 to 5 guys that have like totally formed you as a player, who would they be?
Well, Brett, that's very easy.
Okay.
Because all it boils down to is I grew up playing in church.
Yeah.
A real, Pentecostal church.
Yeah.
So
very
lively. So you just fly by the seat of your pants all the time.
It's the fun,
just
right there.
It was like super joyous, fun.
Feeling it.
So you're playing totally for feel.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You had to. They kick you out.
They kick you out. You be shunned from the church.
Get out of here. No. Satan, be gone.
Be gone. No. So, it was total feel.
Yeah.
So then my older brother played guitar, and he was into a lot of funk music.
Okay.
So funk, James Brown, Parliament Funkadelic, all that, the gospel stuff, and then blues.
Okay.
Like the great guitar players with B.B. King, like Leon Warren, Leonard Gill, and the guys that played rhythm with B.B. King were incredible.
Oh, yeah. Because B.B. didn't play chords.
Yeah.
Gotta do something.
And just all of those kind of sort of rhythm and blues, almost jazz guys, that kind of in between. I just love that.
Oh, dude. That's it. And that was my point, too. Like what you did earlier, you add that bit of sophistication, but it doesn't sound like you're trying to do that. It sounds like it fits, you know what I mean? So like, is there a couple of players that, other than what you just mentioned, that do that really well in a lead context that people could listen to kind of start to hear that other jazzier side of blues that you can think of that would be good to listen to?
Oh yeah, man, there's so many guys. I mean, so many different levels of guys.
Okay, glad that you said that. So give us a simple, tasty one.
Okay.
A medium and then advanced, because you got to be able to hear it to be able to do it, right?
Yeah.
So who does it simplest but the best?
The simplest,
in your opinion,
in jazzy kind of jazzy.
Jazzy blues, yeah.
Maybe me. The simplest, because I don't really know how to play jazz.
Yeah, right.
You know, but I will say, like, jazzy, you have like older style blues, you know, more big band swinging kind of
like
blues and stuff. T-Bone Walker, you know, Lonnie Johnson for the real old school blues. And this is like sounding sort of like big band kind of stuff, but it's blues. Still.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that kind of thing for the getting in the jazzy blues kind of. And then the mid kind of thing.
Who's you're stepping it up a little bit of supercharged in the blues.
Yeah,
jazz.
they might like play some 2/5s and some stuff, you know.
I'm getting scared now.
Me too. There's so many different guys. I'm just trying to think of somebody, you know.
Like palatable, like something that anybody could listen to and be like, oh, that's cool. Like, you know, maybe where the songs are nice too. You know what I mean? It's always, it's easy to pick out people and you're like, but only a certain percentage of people like that. But like I think the greats really can do it in a palatable way for anybody.
Yeah.
Like the songs, like even B.B. King will
I
cover
was gonna
some changes.
say, I was actually gonna say B.B. King because he's always swinging.
Yeah.
You know, like when you think of songs like Caledonia and things like that, I mean, it's swinging.
Yeah.
And that stems from like Louis Jordan, you know, so back to big band again.
Yeah.
So it might be kind of cool to just maybe listen to a little jazzy big band stuff like Count Basie, Louis Jordan.
Okay.
Louis Prima is super fun. This is, you know, Louis Prima is like Jump Jivin' Will, Brian Setzer, that kind of stuff, but old.
God.
You know what I mean?
That freaking dude.
Yeah, that guy. And that's a guy that plays, you know, like kind of jazzy, rockabilly, big band kind of. Well, he does anything he wants. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, when we worked at when I worked at Divided by 13, when I first started working there, we were in San Pedro, and right across the street was the San Pedro Theater. I think it was like a movie theater. They, you know, it used to be like a concert venue, and then it was movie theater, and then I think they flipped it back. But point being, Brian Setzer's band practiced there.
Oh, man.
And it was just like, you would go out to, you know, eat your sandwich at lunchtime and his band was just on fire. And I was just like,
that's awesome.
How is this guy this good on guitar? Like, because it could be, you know, obviously what everybody knows, the rockabilly thing, but just into straight jazz and like the chords and like, it's just like, dude, how do you fit that much stuff into one person?
Yeah.
You know, like, it'd be fun at the same time, you know, and be a total showboat and like doing the duck walk and all that. It's just like, dude, whatever, you know, but this is good stuff. All right, sorry.
There's, man, so many guys. There's like, there's Phil Upchurch, guitar player. He used to play with George Benson. He's got millions of his own solo records. And different people kind of jazzy, soul jazz, bluesy, kind of that.
Benson would be like the
Benson would be the top tier of anything.
Dude, that guy is
Benson even human?
No, I know. I remember somebody, like, I'd only heard, like, you know, the songs around the radio of Benson, and my buddy's like, dude, you're a guitar player. Have you never listened to George Benson? I'm like, no, should I? And he was like, he started laughing. He played me something. I was just like, oh my God.
So
terrifying.
Ridiculous.
All right, so let's get into what you were playing.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but like, how do you add feel? Like, if you were to say, when you feel started coming together, what were things that you started to do in your playing that like give it feel and like connect with people rather than just scales? Like, how do you get the notes to feel like something?
Well, you know, something that I think is kind of a little bit missing in today's times is people don't only have one record.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a kid, back in the olden days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know, like you had Texas Flood.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That was life-changing.
Yeah, you would have that for a month.
Yeah.
And you would just listen to that over and over again. And that's one of the ways that you immediately start to try to mimic your heroes. Yeah. And you start to get the feel and the nuances of their playing. Like listen to that Axis Bold as Love, or, you know, or any Purple Haze, or you start to, like, as you get better, you start to get closer and closer to their feel. Okay. And then over time, and especially playing live, and if you're, you know, working towards playing with other people and stuff like that, I think it starts to, all of this, you start to develop your own thing just over time.
What can you do to make your bends feel good?
Man, making
Like,
them.
like just play a couple licks, and I'll say stop. Do that.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
if I play the progression, here, let me play the progression, and I'll stop you.
sure.
Okay, ready? 2, 3. Okay, right off the bat, one of the things that I like that you do that's cool is you do a lick and then there's like a tag at the end. You know, like you'll land on a note that the resolve note and then add a note at the end. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like I noticed that people start doing that. So like if you're gonna go over basic phrasing, like I'll play just this one chord. Let's talk about like how you can make just free form, whatever comes to your brain. Try to pick like a lick and work on it and show somebody how you can take a basic lick and turn it into something that feels better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. 2, 3.
Add a little vibrato to
Okay.
it, you know.
Okay. So here's one thing I noticed right off the bat. You're not even going anywhere.
Yeah.
You're in one spot.
Yeah.
You got like 4 notes.
Yeah, because I'm going to milk those notes, bro. I'm going to take my time. I'm not worried. I got nowhere to be.
So it sounds like you kind of develop a phrase theme and then you're just changing it
A little
Yeah.
bit. That's one of the biggest things. I
Yeah.
got that from Larry Carlton. But
you played with all last night.
Yeah. He
Whatever.
came out.
No pressure there.
Name dropping. No.
Just falling out all over the place.
But that's really it. You play a phrase because you see a lot of guitar players on the blues.
Yeah.
They'll just start playing, kind of mindlessly, just kind of
Playing
stuff.
notes.
And then it starts to show that, they maybe haven't played the blues a lot or whatever. And that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine, but you can really, it's almost like talking or anything.
Yeah.
If I'm talking to a really educated person
Yeah.
or something, I'm talking less and trying to hear
right.
what they have to say,
Yeah,
to kind
exactly.
of maybe learn something,
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
kind of the same with guitar,
Yeah.
And I would say, for a beginner to just really work on space,
Okay.
like, and if you don't have anything else to say or you can't think of anything, it's cool.
Yeah.
Just take your time.
And what would you take it like if that was your phrase? How would you if you were stuck to those notes that you just played? Where would you take it from there?
I would go.
Oh, God, yeah, right. Yeah.
You can play that.
Yeah.
And I never moved. I moved right there.
Yeah. You're allowed one move.
Yeah.
Gotta go somewhere.
Keep
Keep doing that. That was cool. Like what?
or something like that. Just real simple. I'm over exaggerating it. But just to get the feel if you don't, because it is sort of like a little bit of a language. You start, you pick up from this blues guy like Albert King. You pick up a little from BB. You pick up a little from maybe a more modern guy.
What would be Albert King?
If it was Albert King, I'd play like, something like that. And really, more so than playing this, It's really about the vibrato.
Yeah.
It's about that slower, a little more drunk.
Are you connected with your thumb, or do you float when you do vibrato? Oh, you're kind of
sometimes I float.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes, just depends. And I think that's the other thing, because I get asked that question a lot. I think whatever's comfortable for your, because I think everybody's kind of made up a little different. So you have to feel which way is comfortable for you. Yeah. And where you can have the most command is what I'm trying to say.
The floating thing, it's interesting about that in a slow context, because it's hard to float and go really fast. But I think the cool thing about the floating thing is you get to use the weight of the guitar. Yeah. Like it's almost like it's creating its own force. You know?
And it really boils down to like the vibrato. And like, a lot of people laugh at me because I always do this thing.
Yeah.
All the guitar players are like, Kirk.
Why not?
And that's really, because I always.
Yeah.
And it's overstating.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's just like singing or anything else, or talking with confidence or, oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's all it really is, because I'm not really saying anything that nobody else doesn't say or whatever, But it's just the conviction of it. Yeah.
That's the dang it note. Listen to me, dang it.
Dang it. And that takes time,
Totally.
It just takes time to sit in your room and just jam out the Stevie Ray Vaughan records or whatever, BB, Albert, Muddy Waters,
Okay, so it was Albert King, right? Okay, so
so like, over time, I just boiled it down to playing sort of. You have to really be careful with the pitch on the Albert King, because it's, he was upside down, tuned down, like so. But it's really about that. I call it drunk vibrato.
Yeah, sounds drunk.
Falling off a wall, I know, right? And then you have the Otis Rush type vibrato. See how different that is?
Wide, yeah.
And that's over time, you start to pick out these little things. Blues guitar is all about subtleties.
No, for sure.
And it seems so like people like overlook it, and that's understandable because we live in a more fast-paced world, But the subtleties are the things that gives it that conviction.
All the reason to slow down. It'd be different. Right? You'd be like, wait a second. What's going on over here? This feels nice.
Yeah. And people react to it too, because it's on a sort of emotional, all that kind of stuff.
For sure. Okay, wait. So give us some more blues guys examples.
Yeah, totally. I always kind of default to B.B. King because that's my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, because my playing, it's sort of like B.B. King, a little Otis Rush and Albert King. And then the West Coast, like Larry Carlton's, Robin Ford's, and people like that, and kind of almost playing blues phrasing over pop tunes or singer-songwriter tunes.
Which works so good together. I don't know why people don't do that more.
Yeah. Super simple,
Like John Mayer is the only guy recently I can think of that does that. And it's like, why isn't that like all over the place?
Totally.
It sounds so, it's perfect. Like you heard it in the 80s, like they did it all the time, but like, I don't know.
What's that movie that Eric Clapton done the soundtrack?
It was like Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon. Wasn't that
so
cool?
Good. The playing was so good.
Oh, man. And that was right in that era, too.
Oh, yeah. And he had like cool tone.
Yeah.
And,
I love that song.
Oh, it's the best. That's the 80s was the best for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's put the two things together. So love the easy repetitious kind of phrasing thing you're doing. But like, can you do that exact same thing and then put it in the style of something? Like, you know what I mean? And then we'll have you move into a different spot, So like if they're gonna take it somewhere. Like if you were gonna put BB influence on a phrase like that, right?
That's harder because because BB is like more like major pentatonic.
Yeah. Okay. Like, whoever's a good minor one.
But I'll do it though.
Okay.
I'll try. I'll try at least because he played minor. You know, like.
Would it be? Is it helpful to have?
No, well, it's just.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he would kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know. So it's really the same notes. It's just kind of, you know, like inflections or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Sounds like you're singing.
Yeah. And I mean, that's BB,
yeah,
you know.
BB
I mean, that's not exactly BB.
No,
but
it's a
You know, it's a thing. It's like you would hear him kind of do that.
Yeah.
You know, kind of stay away from over minor.
Yeah. Right.
It really
outside jazz.
Yeah. Right? It's out, man.
Okay, so let's pick like the 4-note phrase that you're doing and then just show them how you would go from that and move to a different spot and kind of change. You know what I mean? Like how you create movement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Like a lot of times, you know, well, there's a story here.
Okay.
You know, like when I was young, I would overhear like guitar players saying, "Oh man, he just plays in the box, this one little box, man. You should like play all over."
Yeah.
You know, and in my mind, at being 12,
Yeah.
I didn't know what they meant. You know, and then I heard Eric Johnson.
Yeah.
You know, and like I saw Totally Electric Guitar, that videotape.
Yeah. It was not in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
blues scale, but.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just a little lick.
Yep.
But then, you know, that kind of formed into, you know, over time, you know, just all different kind of phrases. Repetitious, you know. So anyway, back to our, so I look at it now from playing that in so many different ways. It's like, I might start, sometimes I'll just start on the low strings and I'll play the same thing on the low strings. I'll play. And then by the time you get there, you've added a different level, you know, and then you take it up another notch and you get, I'm basically playing the same licks, but it gives it,
I know.
See,
That's
this is one of the little secrets,
totally.
you know?
Totally. I tell people that all the time, like when you do like the mixing major and minor pentatonic stuff, you know, like when people.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's it. It's like it's the exact. I'm not doing anything different. You know, it's this.
Yeah, but it's cool.
It's 3 octaves of the same lick. You know what I mean?
Cool.
And it sounds like it's moving all over the place. And it's like, well, yeah, but you're playing the same thing.
People can understand that. The listener can understand it. It just sounds cool. It just sounds like you played a badass lick. You know what I mean? Like
right, totally, yeah. And I think the problem with a lot of people is they don't do what you're doing. They take 4 notes and milk 4 notes and then just realize that you can shift into the next position up and it sounds like you're going someplace different and doing something different. Like Stevie Ray Vaughan, you know what I mean? Like 1 and 2 all the time, you know, and doing that exact same thing you just did, but with just the more angry vibrato or whatever, and just repurposing those same licks over and over again. And again, I think it's like what you said. He probably sat down with, you know, an Albert King or whatever and just listened to the one record over again. I think that would be a good takeaway for people is like, if you're going to pick somebody who's simple, that has a really good feel that people could listen to, but the playing isn't, because I don't want them to try to I want them to be able to play along with and have it be simple enough to where they can hone in on the nuance of what they're doing. Who would be a great player to start trying to mimic that's slow, like good, slow blues with great phrasing, but isn't move around a bunch.
Yeah.
Where the bends aren't too crazy and you know what I mean? Like, cause that's another whole, bending's a whole nother bunch of years to get under your belt.
You know, it's funny that you say that because I hear like 12-year-old kids playing like Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. How do they do
what
it?
the heck?
Yeah,
You know, like, so for me, like I had a lot of students during the pandemic, you know, and stuff. And I would say, you know, it depends on where you want to go. If you want to kind of get into it and get the basic thing where you can get from the bedroom to the stage, I would say 2 records to get into, and you would pretty much cover basic blues and stuff. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Texas Flood, and the Fabulous Thunderbirds, Girls Go Wild.
Really?
That first record.
Okay, I've never heard that.
When you think about it, on the Fabulous Thunderbirds records, you have a harmonica player, great singing, and a guy accompanying the harmonica and playing like B.B. King and all of this stuff. And then on the Stevie Ray Vaughan, those progressions on the slow blues, the more rock and roll kind of stuff on there, and all of those things. If you kind of shared those, then you'll know your way around blues progressions, phrasing, timing, space on the Fabulous Thunderbirds record.
Right hand on the CD. Holy moly.
You know?
One of the most terrifying right hands ever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people think about that as much. Like they see this and his giant forearms and like thinking like,
they think it's all here and it's like he's
no,
crushing
you forgot
it.
about the whole driver of everything. Like some of that stuff off of Couldn't Stand the Weather.
Oh man, the rhythm
like
on Couldn't Stand the Weather.
Wow, like that whole record is just terrifying.
Yeah, totally.
But like, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. We need to do a rhythm lesson as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be our next segment. Okay, we're gonna do lesson 2 in just a second. So, do you have your own YouTube channel, or what do you post?
Yeah, Kirk Fletcher. Kirk Fletcher Blues is my YouTube.
Okay.
And I post stuff on there, little lessons and stuff like we're doing here. And also,
you got a True Fire course, right?
I have a True Fire course. I have an Instagram, Kirk Fletcher Music.
Okay.
And a new record coming out July 29th.
See, you actually do play and produce records. Yes. Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put all the links down below, and make sure you give him some love because he's freaking awesome. If you haven't been there, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have a GoFundMe too for the furthering promotion of my record that's coming out July 29th. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now that you're in town with all the cats, where do you play?
I play Underdog, Third and Lindsay, all these different places.
You guys got to go to the Underdog if you come to town. You got to do it. Because, and just the sheer factor of seeing just terrifying guitar players at a hole in the wall, which is perfect. But like the people who also walk in the door to go see the terrifying players are just like, how does this is Nashville. That to me, that's what Nashville was. There used to be a place called the Family Wash.
Yeah.
And I would get off the plane and I'd go in there and it would be like all A-list session guys playing.
Wow.
But then like, that's where I met Guthrie. Like he was just sitting down at the end of the bar and I'm like, oh, there's Guthrie Trapp. And I just walk right up and talk to him. And he's like, 2 hours later, you know what I mean? And it was just like, that's the cool thing. Like the Underdog, we shoot a thing and what you guys will see it soon called Nashville Guitar Night there. And it's just amazing. It's like, it's so cool and everyone's so down to earth and it's the best playing you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, like you walk into that place and you're just like, that was world class.
Yeah.
Yeah. So come to the Underdog. What night are you at the Underdog?
I am there usually on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Full access. It's like this. It's like 10 by 10 inside there. So during the breaks, you will see everybody.
Yes.
All right. So thank you so much for checking it out. Make sure to subscribe. Click the bell to be notified. All this is funded by BrettPapa.com. There's courses there that also teach you how to play and understand your fretboard better. And there's all sorts of other instructors on there as well. So check that out. Maybe we'll pull your leg a little bit, get you in there, do a little master class.
Yeah.
But anyways, make sure to check that out. Thank you so much for the continued support. I'll catch you next time.